Okay, we've done the basics of systems of equations. We've done graphing. We've done 3 kinds of word problems. So basically, this is the catch-all. Okay, it's the cats and dogs. It's just kind of fills in all the empty spaces that there might be left in systems of linear equations in algebra. Okay, the first one is if you're given a graph, and you're given points, and they're asking what is the solution, or what is the x value, or what is the y value, because that x value and y value is part of the solution. There's several ways you can handle this. You can figure out the equation of each line. If they give you the points, like here and here, and here and here, then all you have to do is figure out the slope, figure out the y-intercept, and you know the equations. Put them in Desmos or any other graphing calculator, and the solution is where they intersect. This being the x value, and this being the y value. And that's it. Okay, so if you're given a graph and they say, what is the solution? Then you can do that. Okay. Conversely, you can just look at it. Since they gave you the points, you know, you can figure out the graph. But if they actually give you a grid, and you can see, I'll do this the grid in yellow. If they give you a grid, it's not a very good grid, but if they give you a grid, then you can just look on the graph. Say it's that point right there. There's the x value and there's the y value. Okay, so there's a couple ways you can do it if they give you the graph. Okay, so that's one of the things that you might see. The next thing would be a table. Now a table, that I'll just make this easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7, 7, 6. Okay, so if they give you 2 tables and say, what is the solution? All you have to do is look for the same point on both tables. And in this case, look at that, 3, 7. There's a solution. At x equals 3, y equals 7. That's where they intersect. It's that easy, okay? You can plot those tables if you want, and then see where they intersect, and you'll see it's at 3, 7. But you don't have to. All you have to do is look for that common point between the 2 tables. The problem arises when there be 2 tables and they don't have a common point between them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay, so they will intersect because they have different slopes, but they don't intersect anywhere you can see on these 2 tables. There's no common point. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can figure out the slope of each one, figure out the equation, in other words, and the y-intercept, and then graph them and see where the intersection is. Okay. Another thing, since these are all multiple choice problems, you know, they'll give you A, B, C, and D. They'll give you various either equations if they say which 2 equations can solve this, or what is the solution. There's 2 questions they can ask you. So one is, what is the set of equations? Or 2, what is the solution? So either one, if you go into Desmos and put in the table function there And for one table, plot these 2 points. And for the other table, plot these 2 points. And what you'll see is 4 points show up. Okay, you can plot all 4 points if you want, but since it's linear, you only need 2 points. You can do the first and last if you want. And it doesn't have to be the same for both of them. And then if they say which system of equations solves this, basically take A, put in those 2 equations, and if they line up with the table, with the 2 tables, then you got it. If they don't line up, it's not, just do the first one. If it lines up, do the second one. Do the first one. If it doesn't line up, move to choice B, then to choice C, and so forth. Okay, that's the easiest way to do that one. If they ask what's the solution, you have to plot these points and then see where, then basically find lines that go on them and see where they intersect. You can do it manually if you want, and then see where that point is where they intersect. That's a couple of ways of doing tables that they might give you. Okay, and then the last thing is 2 equations. If they give you 2 equations, y is equal to 3x plus 2, and y is equal to minus 4x minus 1, and they say, okay, at what point will they be equal? In other words, what's the solution? So you can plot them like that. Another way you can do that is set them equal to each other. Okay, you can say, hey, 3x plus 2 is equal to negative 4x minus 1. Okay, and that'll solve for x. So add 4x to both sides. Your calculator will do this for you. And you get 7x and subtract 2, subtract 2. Those cancel, those cancel. 7x is equal to negative 3. So x is equal to negative 3/7. Okay? And you plug that into either one of these and it'll tell you what y is. So that's one way you can do it, set the equations equal to each other. But the best way is just put them in the calculator and graph them. Okay? Remember that any variables they give you other than x and y, you can change them to x and y. You just have to remember what's what. If they have s and t, and you designate s as x and t as y, then just write that down so you remember it. And that's really the cats and dogs of this last video here, to show you how to basically fill in all the stuff you already don't know and how to do systems of linear equations, which by now you probably know most of it. There you have it.